Alright guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of We the People, where the people come for the truth. We got Dana Bash here talking to our failed governor, Wes Moore. Wes Moore, what a clown. Honestly, man, look at this guy. If he didn't have Donald Trump to talk about, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro, this guy here, don't do nothing but overtax the Maryland people. Now he wants to take my representation away. I'm a Republican that lives in Maryland, have one senator that represents us, and he wants to take it away now. All because Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to win in the midterms, and democracy's going to die. Democracy's going to die because you're killing it, bro. Stop being a liar and be a man. Be a man. Instead, you're a politician. You will go straight to hell, Wes Moore. All you politicians will. Don't worry. There's a place right in hell for you. And Lucifer sharpening his claws is waiting for you, buddy. God don't want no liars, bro. And that's all you do to the American people and to the Maryland people is lie to us and steal from us more and more. Hey, Wes Moore, one more question. Why is our gas $3 a gallon when it should be down to about like I don't know, $2.39 a gallon? Huh? It's because these governors, no matter what Donald Trump does to relieve us, they're going to do everything they can to make us hate the Republicans so that way we vote for them. But just realize that the relief that's been given has been stolen by the Democrat governors and mayors. So let's listen to what he got to say now.
To ask you about that racist video President Trump posted portraying former President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama as monkeys.
Oh,
the president has declined to apologize for the post.
Before we hear what they got to say, you racist Donald Trump, you. Didn't we tell y'all that shit ain't working no more? It's a video of Noah's Ark. The AI video, he put everybody in there, and the AI video was of Noah's Ark, and it made Barack and Michael monkeys. But there's other black people in there that aren't monkeys, like Hakeem Jeffries. He's a weasel, like he should be, but he's not a monkey. An ape. Dana Bash, you should be ashamed of yourself for even asking a question like that. You should be 100% ashamed of yourself.
Instead, blaming a staffer for not noticing the images. They did take it down. What's your reaction to the video?
Well, I tell my children all the time that an apology is only meaningful if you have no intention of it happening again. And I think that there is no one who truthfully believes that Donald Trump is...
Wes Moore, if you truly believe that, you would have stopped lying to us a long time ago. So, we know you don't believe that, bro. You don't even believe what you tell your children. Wait till your children find out you've been lying to them the whole time. Unbelievable. Dana Bash, you're a disgusting creature, man. If I was walking down the street, and I seen somebody beating your brains in, Dana, I would walk the other way. If you was on fire, I wouldn't piss on you to put you out. I wouldn't waste my pee. That's just a fact. You're a disgusting creature.
No intention of making these kind of statements or frankly these kind of actions again. And I think it just highlights the kind of urgency that we have within this moment, that it's not just the policies that we have.
The urgency in the moment, because the AI made Barack and Michael monkeys. So it's so urgent right now. You guys got to get out and vote in the midterms and vote Democrat. So that way we can make sure the Republicans never get in office again, and we can steal all your stuff, everything. I mean, everything from you. Thank you. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Weak ass Wes Moore.
Continue to see, we are watching a president who is just unchecked. And so what we need to do right now in this moment, it is important that people come out and vote in November and make their voices heard. It is important that...
Bro, listen to the words they say. The president, unchecked. I think he's the president for a reason, you moron. Weren't you trying to become a president? Which will never happen. Ever happen. And yes, make sure you get out and vote in November. You are a clown, bro. Party. Never happened. Let's finish this, though.
States like Maryland that have the ability to look at their maps, that we have a chance to do it, and it is why I'm urging the Maryland Senate to let democracy not die in the free state and allow a vote to happen on the Maryland Senate. And that people should have the opportunity to know that governors and mayors and attorneys general, that in this moment we've got to understand the assignment and understand what is at stake right now.
Well, let's talk about that redistricting. You are pushing hard to redraw Maryland's congressional map to further benefit Democrats. And what that means is eliminating the only Republican-held seat that exists right now. The map, as it stands, is already really gerrymandered, done before you got there. How is it good for democracy to pursue a map that makes your state even less representative?
Well, actually, the map that the Maryland House passed would actually make 6 of the 8 congressional districts more competitive than less. And frankly, one of the most gerrymandered seats inside of the state of Maryland is actually the Republican seat. It's Andy Harris's seat, who voted against national redistricting reform. But what the Maryland delegate, Maryland House did, is they actually said, let's debate it, let's discuss it, and then let's take a vote. This idea that the Maryland Senate won't even take a vote on this is just, it does not make any sense to me and does not make sense to many Marylanders. And in fact,
that's not true. Actually, we don't want you to take that seat away. At least a lot of us don't. And how is it the most gerrymandered seat there? Because they won't let you take a vote to steal the last seat. They already know if you take the vote, you're going to steal that seat. And then no Republicans are going to have representation in Maryland. So how is it competitive? You're still not taking the advice you give your children. You liar. You're a liar, Wes Moore. You should have been in the monkey outfit.
Just last week, we saw how the Maryland Senate found time to debate and vote who was going to win the Super Bowl, but could not find time to debate the future of democracy.
And I just want to make sure that people who aren't totally familiar with the makeup of the legislature in Maryland understand that you're talking about the Democratic leaders, the Democratic leader in particular in your home state. So this is, an internal party divide on this. And I know you mentioned that you think that some of the congressional districts will be more competitive, but ultimately you're trying to push out the only Republican who is serving there.
We saw how the reason that the House passed an emergency legislation is because this is an emergency. This is an emergency where even with the legislation, it still goes back to the people. The people can still take a chance to have a vote later on, but we understand what is at stake right now. And I know that there are more Maryland senators that do believe that this thing would go, and so that's why all we're asking for is let it have a debate, make adjustments if you see fit, but then have a vote. But right now, trying to pressure down or trying to suppress the vote inside of the Maryland Senate and not even allowing them to have their voices heard, that is something that I do not understand and I do not think should be tolerated in the free state.
I just want to ask you point blank about sort of why this is happening in Maryland right now. You know what happened in California. Your fellow Governor Gavin Newsom also potentially thinking about running beyond his home state in 2028. He successfully redrew California's maps. In other words, is this as much about 2028 as it is about 2026 for you?
This is about our democracy.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
about the fact that, you know who started this? It wasn't Gavin Newsom. It was Donald Trump. When Donald Trump first contacted Texas and said, I need you to find me additional congressional seats, and they went into a back room with a Sharpie and started redrawing maps. And then it went to Ohio and Missouri and North Carolina and Florida. When you add all those up, you're watching a president of the United States who is trying to make this pain permanent. And there is no state that has had more of an impact on this than the state of Maryland. We've had over 25,000 Marylanders fired by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. We have lost billions of dollars in federal aid and support, changing our balance sheet. We've not received a single dollar in federal disaster relief from DHS or from FEMA since this Trump administration has come on board. And so this is about when you were watching
That's not
Donald
true.
Trump in front of our face, trying to ruin and trying to thwart democracy. We have an obligation to step up. We have an obligation to debate, and the Maryland Senate has an obligation to vote.
Governor,
because
later
you're-
this month,
you're
the president,
stealing the money.
President Trump, will host.
We know there's fraud in Maryland too. We just don't know where it's at yet, but we're working on it, Wes Moore. Don't worry, we're working on it. There's fraud in Maryland too. You better believe it. There's Haitian communities, there's Somali communities, there's African communities, all of that, and they all drive big cars. They all there's African drug dealers, all that, bro. Like, come on, bro. Maryland is sick, and he don't want to do nothing to help Maryland get out of the hole that it's in. It's in a death spiral, and he don't want to help it at all. He wants to fight Donald Trump. Do your job. If you do your job, that might show better than anything, you moron. We need to get Wes Moore out of office for sure. And there's a good man that's running. Ed Hale. I support Ed Hale for governor for Maryland. 100%. Wes Moore has failed Maryland. And if he becomes president, he will fail this country.
An annual meeting of governors at the White House. He's only inviting Republican governors to that, which is traditionally a bipartisan event. And he's specifically excluding you and Democratic Governor Jared Polis from a separate dinner. You're the vice chair of the National Governors Association. Do you know why you are being called out and excluded?
It's particularly confusing because just a few weeks ago, I led a group of Democratic and Republican governors to the White House. And we had a meeting with the White House where we signed a memorandum of understanding around energy and trying to increase energy supply and bring down energy costs. And so one thing I know is this, is that you can uninvite, you can untweet, but you can never erase. And so if I was selected by my peers, both Democratic and Republican governors, to serve as the vice chair of the National Governors Association, we focus on getting things done for our people, and we're not interested in being able to go to fancy dinners with the president if he wants to exclude certain members.
Well,
so since the president had decided that I'm not going to be invited, this will not be an NGA event.
Meaning what?
Meaning the NGA will not support this dinner. If the president wants to have a dinner with his friends and have a black tie dinner with his friends on that night, that is perfectly fine. It will not be an NGA event.
And you have a commitment from Republican governors on that?
Oh, we have a commitment from the organization.
No.
This is a
It don't
bipartisan
matter.
organization where Democratic and Republican governors come together to work on addressing the needs
Oh,
of our
he's throwing
people.
a hissy fit.
And I'm honored that my peers selected me to be the vice chair of it. I'm thankful for the leadership of Kevin Stitt, a Republican, the Republican governor from Oklahoma, who serves as the chair. And we know that in this time, the president cannot use this time to divide our organization. Our organization stands firm that if you exclude one, you exclude us all, and this will not be an NGA event.
Governor, before I let you go, I just want to understand what you think the reason is that you are being singled out, and Jared Polis, but from your perspective, why are you being excluded from this dinner?
Well, I've
Because
long
I'm
learned
a
that
liar.
I'm not trying to get inside over the president's psyche. It's not a good use of my time. It's not lost to me that I'm the only black governor in this country.
Oh!
And
Oh,
I find that to be
there it
particularly
is.
painful, considering the fact
There it
that the
is,
president
the
is trying
only
to exclude
black
me
governor.
from,
That's
from
what she
an
was
organization
searching.
that not only am.
That's what she was searching for. She did the monkeys with Barack and Michael. Now she had to get out of him. He's the only black governor and he's not being invited. Dana Bash was successful at being a dumb bitch. Thank you. Have a great day.
My peers have asked me to help to lead, but then also a place where I know I belong in. And so I've long learned, and I've talked to the people and the children of my state, is that I'm never.
But Wes Moore, you can't try talking to some adults in your state. How about that? But first and foremost, you can't lead the Governors Association when you can't even lead your state. Most people would have, when you walk the streets of Maryland, most people remind you what a horrible job you have done. Man, we can only hope that that's the last time we'll see you after you're done being our governor. We can only pray.
In a room because of someone's benevolence nor kindness. I'm not in a room because of a social experiment. I'm in the room because I belong there, and the room was incomplete until I got there.
You're saying that he's excluding you
Oh.
because of the color of your skin?
Oh, there it is.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak to the president's intent. It's not lost to me, but I can't speak to the president's intent.
Governor Wes Moore, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here.
Dana Bash, you're a disgusting pig, and I hope everybody lets you know that. I hope you see this video so you know that most of America despises you and think you're a disgusting pig. We just want you to know that. You have a great day. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe, like, and share if you agree. Dana Bash is a disgusting pig. And Wes Moore, man, you're some trash, bro. You're really some trash, bro. You and that fake ass racism shit. Oh, he didn't pick me because I'm the only black governor. No, you're the biggest liar and the biggest loser. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.